This is episode 19 of the Concrete Injection Made Easy podcast, the last one this year. Thank you very much for all your support and messages. I'm planning next year based on this information. If I plan, I follow the example of those who are better than me. And today, at the end of the year, I invite you to meet Mr. Jens Bögershausen, the owner of the Bögershausen Bau GmbH company from Germany. In this conversation, you will learn how to develop your company, how to transfer responsibilities, and how much time to spend consulting with people managing the company in individual markets and countries. This conversation is not a one selected topic. It's a broad view of making strategic decisions regarding the company's development. This year has shown us that we should be prepared for one thing only, for everything. And since so, the exchange of experience and listening to those who are doing well, even in a crisis, is priceless. So now, without further ado, I invite you to listen to this conversation. Make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already and sit back listening. This is Mr. Jens Bögershausen. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you. Monday is not the best day because on some construction site are always trouble, but today it's very quiet. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I think I have to admit that this is the first recording, Monday recording, because we both work in the same construction site industry. Yeah, I agree that Monday is sometimes is the worst day because there are so many things that we are informed after the weekend is over. So many changes. Many people call because they change their mind and so on, so on. So I agree. I'm pretty sure that this conversation, this interview with you will be totally different than all the others, because usually we dive with my guests and we describe only one given injection technology. I'm really asking my guest questions about how to choose the right injection resin, how to repair an expansion joint, and so on, so on. Today, we are talking about how to run a company in this industry. So, tell me the day you started to think that you become an entrepreneur. How was it?
Our company, I'm in the fourth generation, and our company started at 99 here in Germany. But in this time, my grandpa makes only, or my grandpa and my father too, they're making only houses, 1, 2, 4, 5 family houses, and for the here in this area is many the agri industries, and we build there for chicken and pigs, and so this is here what my father and so make. And now I decided to go another way. And I have a company where we making repair floors and making new floors. And so we have always the same problems had there, because we have cracks, we have joints, we must repair concrete and so. And so it was very easy to say, okay, now we're making a new way. We're making repair concrete. We're making resin coatings and injections.
Okay,
and that was the way, and was interesting for me. And so I must learn many about this job. or about the jobs, and now we are making over 10 years only this in refurbishment.
I see. So at the beginning, you say you started to repair your own construction site for yourself, and then I guess you started to run this as a regular business. Am I right?
Yes. It was another company, the Optiplan floors. And when we go in the industries and repair industries floors with concrete and so, and they will have the same problems then. Then we must sometimes make injection too, because there are cracks and so on. And so we come goes into the business for refurbishment.
Okay, tell me, because I know it from my own experience that it's not easy to start something new or, grow your business in so many different directions, because you mentioned repairing floorings and injections, and there are two huge different industries within this construction industry. So my question is, how do you do it? How do you do it that you are able to really cover all these bases?
It was very easy for me because my father said when you're going in the building industries, then you must learn bricklayer and concrete former. And so I have really learned it 3 years. And then I worked at my father, and then I make a master. It's a professional school 1 year, and then I was in Germany called Meister. And I have all the basics for concrete and bricks, and so I have the basics, and that is very easy then for me to make other things like injection with cement or concrete repair. I know the concrete. And what was new is resin floors. With resin, it's another way that I must learn. But I learned it in the other company when we make floors. Sometimes we must make resin floors there too, and so I have learned all this, and then it was easy to say, okay, with the building company we change it and make refurbishment because the knowledge I have. So I must only go deeper in this, but that was no problem. I have made some courses and I have learned all this stuff.
So many things. You are the main person, the CEO of the company. Do you have, and how many people? Because I guess that it's nearly impossible to do all these things on your own. So the question is, how do you find right employees, and how do you put them on the right positions in your company?
That is the biggest problem in Germany because we don't.
Not only in Germany.
Yes, because that is the reason for 2 years we go to Poland too. We have a branch in Poland, and we have good Polish employees. We train them, and they become training from Poland too. And that is a very good, a very big problem to get good employees. It's we only searching. We talk with the material industries. If they know somebody who want to change and can come to us, and it's not easy, but we always try it. And that's, so now we want to make a little bit more over social media to get good employees. And now we have in our group, we have in Germany here, our headquarter in Goldenstedt. We have a branch in Hamburg. We have in Poland a branch. Now in Romania and in Ghana in Africa.
Wow.
And we have 20 6 employees were in this group.
Together in all these countries.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes, but we have many subcontractors. Subcontractors, I think for yes, when we make, for example, resin floors, somebody or a company comes on the blast truck. We don't make it alone. We make a little areas we make on ourselves. About big areas, we take a subcontractor for this. But when we get the job and we started there, and the first person is the blast truck, then always a construction site manager is on the construction site and look after this, because when the blast truck is coming, then he see, the surface, there's, for example, cracks. He has resin in his car, and then he can close it. He can make photos. We have all construction manager have a app where they can make photos and documentation of the construction site. And so it's easy. The photos are in the cloud. He calls here in the office and said, we have some cracks here after the blast truck. Then the back office can send to the planner or to the owner the photos. We see here some cracks. Should we close it? So then they say always, please close it. And somebody is here. When the client at the construction site has a question, then he see the man with a big B on the back and can ask him. And so that is our system to work.
I also try to grow my company, and I also tried a couple of times to use and hire subcontractor or subcontractors in my injection projects. But I find it very difficult because it's not easy to remain the quality. There are different companies, they repair cracks differently. They take different angles when drilling. They tend to choose different kind of resins. Other example, when they are about to inject and seal the expansion joint. So they don't clean the internal expansion joint walls good enough, in my opinion. So sometimes they don't do it at all. They simply drill and try to inject PU-based resin, foaming resin into this expansion joint. I don't like it. So, frankly speaking, from time to time, I choose to do it on my own, even if my clients will have to wait for me longer, because I'm sure that the job will be done correctly. So how do you do this in so many countries, with so many people, with so many subcontractors?
For example, now we have a construction site at the North Sea. There is an old office building, and the ground floor, the walls are wet. And now we must make with acrylate gel, we close the walls. The walls are 1.20 meters wide. So our team comes there inside where we must drilling. And we must drilling over 7,000 holes. And that is
nice drilling.
Really many. And then 1.10 meter deep. So they make it, sign it all, and then we take subcontractors. They are only drilling. But about 2 of our employees on the construction side and look after this. They making the injection, and the others only drill. It's a little bit like Donald Trump, drill, baby, drill. And so we can make it.
So basically, you don't sell this job to a subcontractor and you leave them alone.
No, never. We all, what I told you before, we have always one man on the construction site, never a subcontractor alone, never.
So
we have always trouble with this.
Okay. I guess that it would be, because I thought that this is the solution on my own as well years ago, but my construction sites are not that big. So the margin and possible, money to be earned are not big enough to really, so I'm not able to put one or two people working with this subcontractor company on the job site. It's a little bit, I guess, more complicated, but I have to find a solution for that, because I have more and more clients, and they want to work with me, with my brand, with my company, with my employees. So I have to choose how to overcome this in the future. That is why I'm asking this question. So your answer is to keep at least one employees of mine on the job site, working with them and actually watching them how they work. Yeah.
And control.
And control.
Documentation. It's very important. Yes, and documentation, because when we make the injection now on this construction site, we all documentation and every how much acrylate gel going into, and sign on the wall on which hole coming out, that we all see it later, because we can't control later if we have closed the wall. We only can see where gel is coming out at the next holes.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
will be documentation.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, do you use the same subcontractors in those different countries, meaning Germany, Poland, Romania, because this is Europe, so it's closer, or you have subcontractors in every single region, different companies?
In every company, also. We have here our head of in the head office. We have other companies in, for example, in Hamburg, other in Poland and in Africa.
Yeah, that's obviously. Yes.
But everybody in the branch knows who want to with him. He want to work together because they know it. Where they have the relation, and so it's no problem.
So, do you think it's possible that, let's say, you are about to run a contract where you have to inject, let's say, 300 running meters of crack in Poland, and more or less same contract in Ghana? Do you think that those cracks will be injected in exactly the same way using exactly the same resin?
Yes. We take in Africa the same resin like in Germany, because we work there with the German material producer together.
Okay, and choosing the same resin is easy because you simply buy the same product. But how about actually applying, meaning injecting this resin? So you have to drill the holes exactly the same way, the same amount of holes, the same angles, the same diameter, and so on. Is it easy? I guess it's not, to really remain the same quality level in all those construction sites.
Yes, that's a good question. But when you make the injection, you have your controlling about the next packer. You see if somebody comes out or not. No? You see how many resin you have inject in the floor or in the wall. No? And then you have a little bit more control. But I think it's always the same. We have. But what we have other problems with the climate. In Africa, we have 38 degrees, and the air wetness is by 95%.
Humidity,
that is sometimes the problem. But We have trained our employees there. Like in Germany, we call it SIVV man. It's a certificate from the German Concrete Association, and that's 2 weeks training, and you must repeat it. Refreshers all 2 years, 1 day or 2 days. And this course, we have it on English, and we make it with our employees in Africa too.
Okay, that's cool. This
and
is
so
something.
We can, yes.
So you also train your all your employees. Yeah, that's absolutely great and reasonable to keep them informed and keep them trained all the time.
Yes, that is important. That is our know-how. Is our employees who are on the construction site.
You say that you work on different markets, at least 3 different markets in Europe and in Africa. Can you tell us a little bit what kind of, how do you compare those markets? Do you compare it? Are there any changes in each and every of these markets?
Yes, the prices are different.
Okay. I guess the German market is the most expensive, I guess.
Yes, but there are many companies who make the jobs. I think we must going out with the other companies with our documentation and so on. No? That the client want to have this. No? That's important for him. No? And so we want to get the job because we make not only the work with injection, we're making very good documentation of the material, how we make it. We make photos, and they become a very, very long PDF with each day what we have made, how many we've made, and so. And I think so we can a little bit grow out of the group who makes these jobs.
Cool. I have to admit that my documentation just describes the whole work we've done. We give the specification about the products, running meters, something like the biggest mistakes we have found, and pictures describing this. But I'm not telling to my client what we have done each day. I'm not that.
Because
I don't dig so much in the details.
It's easy for us because we have this app, and they can make every minute photos, and they make photos with the material. You can see the charge number of the material. We make photos of this. We make of all. When the one wall is ready, he goes back and make one photos of the wall. Then we have all documentation. When we have problems, all is in the documentation.
You are a general contractor. Can you tell me a little bit about what is the share of injection in your turnover, like in the percentage? Is it like 40%, 30, or 5? More or less, give or take.
Every year. Yes, I don't. It's not easy. It changes. I think.
Is it increasing or decreasing?
Increasing. But sometimes you have a job, we make a concrete repair, you make injection and coating. No? And so when I take it together, I think 40%.
40% is injection.
Yes.
Again, okay.
Yes.
2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I had a podcast, and I was talking with the representative of the Forum on Injection Technology. This meeting was supposed to take place on November this year. It was cancelled. So Mr. Marvin Klostermeier from the Bauverlag told me that in Germany there is a plan for 10 years, from 2020 to 2030, that 70% of the money are going to be spent on the infrastructure, meaning roads and the railway, will be for not the new ones, but for the repairs.
Used.
Yeah, or
Yes.
the repairs. So I guess this is huge money. Do you have a plan for your company, for yourself, to win some of this money in Germany?
Of the tenders?
For yourself? Yeah.
Yes. In Germany, they're making tenders, and the cheapest win the race. No?
I know we have the same. We have the same situation in Poland. The cheapest wins, and then they have a problem how to do it with such a low amount of money.
Yes, and that's the same in Germany. And sometimes you can work directly for little villages or cities, and so then it's no problem. But when they making the tender and they make it all over the EU, then it's a problem because the pricing is very, very low. Then
I see.
Yes, we take a part of this now. Yes. And I always wonder when I see the results. In Germany, you become the results, who's every company and the price. Then wow. Do the job. I can't understand, no? Because the employee want to have money too.
Absolutely.
And I can't understand it. And so we're working for industries and or under other companies, and so it's easier sometimes. Or planning offices who planning this for other, and that it's easy for us to get jobs there.
So how do you find clients? Like, what is your best way for finding a good client, paying client, the client you really feel you want to work with?
I think 90% is mouth-to-mouth advertising. Most is really so. We are not so big in advertising, but when you get a job and there is a planner and he sees that you make a good job, then he calls me or write me, I have here another project, can you make an offer there too? And this is the most where we get jobs.
Absolutely agree. I have exactly the same situation. It works from 2013. And I still say that we didn't have even one day off for all these years. Yes. There are even more companies, more clients willing to have us on their job site. So this is it. More word of mouth.
Oh, that's good. But it's about that the best jobs, man. When you not get the job over a tender, and I think that is good. And then you know that the planner want to work with you, and you know the planner, okay, you can have a good job with him together. It's important too. And then everybody has fun with the work.
They say that this business relationship is built, they trust you, and they simply want to work with you again and again. This is it.
Yes, exactly.
So we do it exactly the same way, which is cool. I guess this is absolutely the best way for finding new job sites, new clients, and growing your business. What is the most injection job you do? Is it crack injection, or if not, what is this?
No, I think waterproofing is more. Crack injection, yes. In January, we started a new job. There's a highway, and we must. There are many cracks. We must close that. But the most, I think, it's waterproofing.
What do you mean by saying waterproofing? Because I inject cracks, let's say in the underground parking place, and this is waterproofing. We are filling the crack in order to stop the water leakages.
Always acrylic gel. It's no, that is only waterproofing for me. No?
Okay,
Well,
I see.
we have sometimes cracks. They are dry, no? Only close and get together. But the most is waterproofing.
I see. All right. So, what is the most common material? Is it PU resin or is it acrylate? I guess it's acrylate in that case.
Yes, because in this with acrylate you only use many kilos of that,
Yeah.
and when you make acrylate out of the wall in the earth, you need more. When you make it in the wall, then you have mostly over 1 meter walls wide, and when you have PU, you have only little cracks.
That's it.
One or maximum 2 millimeters. There's not so much. No?
Yeah. So when I always smile that when we inject a crack, the biggest consumption goes to fill the holes we drilled, not the crack.
Yes, exactly.
I wanted to come back a little bit to this business part of the conversation. I would like to ask you if you make all the decisions that are necessary to run a business like yours. Do you do it your own, or do you have your employees that are able to take at least some of the decisions?
I first plan the construction site, but when our employees on the construction site, they can or then change it many times, and so they must decide what they want. But sometimes they ask me, because it's easy with our app. They show me photos and what do you think? What will we do? We make the 4 eyes control, and then we decided we make it so or so, and then it's going.
So does it look like this that they call you? They call you from the job site?
Yes.
Okay.
But they have so many experience, it's no problem for them. They know what they must do and can do.
Sure. Okay. I have the same, including that sometimes they call me at 2 a.m. because they have the night shift, and there is a 2 a.m. Phone call that lasts 15 seconds. And the question is, should they do this or that? And I ask them the question, what would you do? So I would do this. So
yes.
Do it.
Yes,
end of discussion. End of discussion.
Yes.
Okay. How many people, let's call them decision makers you have? I know that you have this lady working in Poland, so she is CEO here in Poland. So I guess she is a decision maker. Do you have many people like she is, who is a CEO of a given company, your company, and is able to make a decision for this given market, the given company, given country?
Yes. Every company has a CEO, and they make it. We make every week 2 video calls together. Then we discuss all questions or what
the whole situation, I guess.
Talk over. Yes. So it's very easy. We're all in Microsoft Teams. And so we have groups for every company. We can chat over this, and that is easy. And if I always call over Teams, and if I call our lady here in the ground floor, or I call Poland or Romania or Africa, it's always the same for me. It's only 1 click, And then
one click away. They are one click away from you. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and so it's,
how much time does it take to have this kind of conversation? Is it half a day conversation, or is it like just 2 hours? How much time do you spend every week?
it's 4 hours, I think. Yes, okay. 4 hours.
Mm-hmm. Once a week, on 4
Monday
hours.
And on Friday.
Twice a week.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I know. I read in like many books that there is this poor statistics saying that, you know, new company that just started most probably will be closed within the first 5 years. They say that almost 90% of new established companies are being closed within the first 5 years. How do you do it in your new markets to avoid this kind of situation?
Yes, we are starting with a really little company, and we are growing slowly, not too fast. I think that is it. No? And I think the most have the problem that they take too much money out of the company. But I think the first 5 years you can't get money out of the company because you are growing. You need money there. And so that, I think that is the problem. And sometimes the structure, no? They don't forget the tax authority and so on. And I know it in Germany it's the same. No? Little companies, when they what they're earning, they think that is their profit, but it's not profit. You must pay taxes and so on. And so I think that is the most problem of these companies.
I can tell you that first at least 3 years, I wasn't earning any money. Every single money that company earned, I was reinvesting all the time, you know. Even my wife asks me if there will be a day that I will finally give some money home. So, at least 3 years of this hard working and not earning too much or almost nothing, because I was really fighting to be able to stay alive, stay working, being able to pay my employees and for all this goods, resin, whatever it was, because I really wanted to stay and work. So now the situation is different, obviously, but this is almost 8 years on the market. So after 8 years, I guess this situation is simply different than the very first days and weeks and months.
Yes, I understand. Yes.
Do you have
it's the same here?
Mm-hmm. Do you have let's say a tip you would like to share with young entrepreneurs starting to going into this industry, perhaps even thinking about starting their own company in this remedial concrete works industry? What would be your tips? What would be your answer to these people?
I think the important thing is to make really a good work. No? When you, I think when you make the drills, all 20 centimeters, make it all 20 centimeters, not 25, 20. Documentation, because when something is going badly and you must pay for this, then you have a really big problem. And documentation on this, also because we must give guarantee for 4 or 5 years, and so when we documentation all and make the workload the norm, then it's all right, because when something else is later, for example, water comes through or what else, no? Then you have a big problem, and make the right offer and contracts, no?
Yeah.
Because for example, when we make waterproofing injection, we write in our contract, okay, on the offer, okay, we make the injection, but it could be that we have not all closed. We must come again and make the rest, and you must pay for this. And not I have a company office for expert for where I work for the court for justice and so, and I see always the problems there. If somebody makes a contract to we closed a crack, so and then you must close it for this money. Now, when you come 20 times, you must close it for this money, and I think that is the mostly problem young companies have, that they have not a clearly contract.
Yeah, and these 5 years really last long when it comes to giving a guarantee, because there can be a problem in the 4th year, yeah? Then you have to come over to this job site and repair it, and you pay, not the client this time.
Yes.
Do you have any books or something like this that you would suggest to your subcontractors or young entrepreneurs to read in order to give knowledge, to gain knowledge?
I think the ABC from ABC injection from Gizori, they have make a book that's very good. There you can get many informations, and the next is to go to a material producer and ask him, can you show me and training me and give me informations? They make it too because they want to sell. And
sure, they do it absolutely.
Yes, to get information and to help the first construction sites, and I think that is the best way.
Do you think that it's a good idea for young people to start working for a company like yours or any other bigger companies for a couple of years to train themselves before they start their own company?
Yes, why not? No, you can learn it, no? And see what risks are in these jobs, no? And then you can decide, or then they can decide if they want to have the risk on their own shoulder, or they say, no, I want to be at the company and want to be a site manager there and have a good job too, and no risk on their own shoulders.
Yeah. Couple of years ago, I had an employee who wanted to become an entrepreneur later, but first he wanted to work and see how this industry looks from the inside of the contractor company. And after some time, he told me that he is not so sure if he wants to start because he's seen many problems with clients, difficulties on the job sites. He were about to enter these job sites today, but something went wrong and they didn't accept him to enter. So he didn't start. And I told him, look, if you didn't go there and you did nothing, no one is going to pay you because the job is not done. So you lost whole day. Yeah. You will get the salary from me. Yes. But if you are this subcontractor, you will be paid nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is sometimes it's
not easy. I think it's not easy when you have not directly the contact to the client. It's not easy. It's better to have the contract directly, and nobody is between. And I think the big construction companies, they are not the best clients too, because they only earn money if they not pay the the invoices of the subcontractors. That's the way they earn money, and I don't like to work for those companies.
For the biggest one. Yeah, I guess that's it may be true. It may be true. Tell me, so why did you choose to go to Ghana? Why Ghana? Why Africa? Do you have this? Do you know this market, or you are just getting to know this market? Tell me a little bit about this idea.
No, for 5 years we're making for a German material producer for the product manager. We refurbish the own house in Mülheim. And we were always in contact. And last year in November, he calls me, and if I'm interested to look and travel to Ghana, they have made a new factory there, and we want to look. And on January, okay, I come with you, I fly with you, and then we fly to Ghana, and then they have make job interviews, organize job interviews.
Okay.
And so he shows me and said, yes, here's a market. Do you want to go here? We support you. It's no problem. And so that is the reason why I'm going to Ghana.
Okay. So almost a year now in Ghana. Do you already build something, repaired something? Did you inject something there?
Yes, we're making, the first thing we make is COVID-19 hospitals. We make there the floors, bathroom floors. That was the first jobs. And we make injections there, coatings, concrete work too, and waterproofing, many waterproofing.
Okay, so
have many problems with that.
So injection is needed everywhere. What is the biggest reason for injections? It's waterproofing, right?
Yes, the biggest is, I think, waterproofing. And sometimes you have in buildings with concrete the problems that there are cracks in and must be taken together. But the mostly, I think, waterproofing. Yes,
waterproofing. Yeah, I guess that 85 to 90% of my job sites, of my task on the job sites, is waterproofing. It's masonry, it's concrete, whatever it is, but we simply are asked to seal the structures, mainly underground part of the structures.
Yes, yeah. It's the same in Germany too.
Yeah, so I guess that these markets are more or less the same. We are all fight against water, trying to get into this underground structure. So the markets are more or less the same.
Yes,
it seems so.
I think so too.
Do you have anything else that you would like to tell in the end, or perhaps you have some questions to our listeners?
Oh, I'm very interesting. What are the market in the future after COVID? That is very interesting, and that worldwide. No? Is the economic growing up again? I don't know. I'm very interested in such questions. And yes, that is what I'm interested in the future.
I asked the same question to my listeners and to packer producers. And in one of the previous episodes, there are 4 different producers answering questions. And one of these is what is the future for our industry? And they tell the main answer was that our remedial industry is growing. We are building worldwide. We use concrete worldwide. And finally, this concrete will need our help. Yeah. So our presence is absolutely necessary on the job sites. We rebuilt old buildings. We repaired old structures. we watertight the underground parking places. Let's say this is the biggest example. So I guess that our industry will be still growing. Hopefully.
Yes, I think too. Yes, yes, but I think too, because when you have for example, a parking garage and there's water in the ground floor, then you have a problem. You must do it now. Close the cracks now.
Absolutely.
You don't earn money, or the owner. And so I think, and that is not, it's a highways and so many things must be repaired, and they can't wait. So I savage structures, tunnel, bridges, industries. There are so many things who must be running, and so I think this market injection will never be going down.
Yeah, I agree. So this is absolutely good finish for our conversation. We agreed that we hopefully won't be left alone, and we will be able to grow our businesses hopefully together. If you are entering Polish market, then I'm here working. So please remember that and take my company and myself into consideration to work with me as well. Thanks for this conversation.
Yes, sure.
And thank you very much for spending this almost 1 hour with me, sharing your knowledge, sharing your experience with me and with my podcast listeners. Yeah. Many thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you very much and all the best. See you. I hope you took notes. I have mine here. Thank you everyone for listening to this podcast episode. The podcast will be back in due course in 2021. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you.